All right. So we're diving deep today into something you've probably heard tossed around. CSR, corporate social responsibility. But what's the deal with it? What does it all mean?
Well, CSR, it's kind of a big deal these days.
Yeah.
It's basically companies realizing, hey, we're not just here to make a profit.
Right.
We have a bigger responsibility. We've got to think about our impact on, well, everything.
The world. Yeah.
The environment, our employees, the communities we're part of,
So not just like sticking a green label on something and calling it a day.
Nope, definitely not. It's about real action, real change.
Got it.
And a great company to look at, a real CSR all-star, is Patagonia.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of them.
So they pledge like 1% of their sales, right, to environmental groups.
Really?
Yeah, and they've donated a ton of money, like over $100 million so far.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is.
But does that kind of, generosity actually mean success in business? I mean, how does that work?
Well, and this is the really interesting part.
Okay.
Patagonia, with their commitment to sustainability and all,
right,
they've actually built this like really, really loyal customer base.
Huh.
Customers who, get this, are willing to pay more.
Interesting.
For products that they believe in, products that, match their values.
So it's kind of like voting with your wallet in a way.
Exactly. It's like saying, hey, I support what you're doing.
Yeah, supporting companies that are, doing good things.
Yeah.
So CSR isn't just about the planet, right? It's a bigger idea.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's way more than just the environment. It's multifaceted. Think of it like a diamond. Each facet represents a different area where businesses can step up, make a positive impact.
Okay, I like that.
So we've got, like you said, environmental stuff, but also ethical labor practices. That's a big one.
What does that mean exactly?
Making sure workers get paid fairly, have safe working conditions, things like that. Then there's good old-fashioned charitable giving, companies donating money or supporting charities.
Right.
And then there's community engagement, getting involved locally.
So it's like being a good neighbor.
Yeah.
As a business.
Yeah, exactly. Being a good corporate citizen.
Yeah.
So all these facets kind of come together to form that CSR diamond.
I see. And are there companies that are really good at, say, those ethical labor practices?
Oh, yeah, tons. For example, there's a company called Fairphone.
Okay. What do they do?
They make smartphones, but they go all out to make sure their supply chain is totally ethical.
Interesting.
Like really prioritizing fair wages, safe working conditions, and responsible sourcing of their materials, even if it means higher costs for them.
See, that's what I think a lot of people assume, that ethical equals expensive.
Yeah, it's a common thought. It's a tricky thing. But companies like Fairphone show it can be done. You can bake those practices into your business model without charging an arm and a leg.
Without breaking the bank.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've seen how this CSR plays out in the real world. But for our listeners, what's the most important thing to take away from all this? Like the key idea to remember?
I'd say the biggest thing to remember is that CSR, it's not just a fad, it's here to stay.
Right.
It's a big shift in how we think about business.
I see.
And as consumers, we have power. Every time we buy something, we're supporting a company, we're supporting their values.
It's true.
So we've got to ask ourselves, do their actions match our beliefs? And does their CSR, their commitment or a lack of it actually affect our choices?
Wow. Yeah, you're right. It makes you really think about the impact of what you buy,
Yeah.
Every purchase is kind of a statement.
Exactly.
Well, next time I'm out shopping, I'll definitely be thinking about this stuff. Thanks for this deep dive.
No problem. Glad we could talk about it.
CSR. It's a big deal.
It is.